I'm a nurse with UMass Memorial Life Flight. I've been a nurse for Life Flight for about 25 years. We fly with a nurse, paramedic, and a pilot. If somebody's badly injured, the local EMS system would activate the aircraft. We would plan on where to meet them. So if it's an accident on Route 9, say, and they were stuck in the car still, we would go to wherever the fire department designated the landing zone to be. And then we would fly out, we'd come and land, and then we'd see the patient there. Many times the patients aren't trapped and they need to go to the community hospital. Those are the people having heart attacks, brain attacks like a stroke, or major medical problems, and they will take the patient to Harrington. They'll also simultaneously activate us, and we will meet them at the helipad there, transfer care, and then go to wherever they typically get their care, which will be UMass or some major medical center. We go up to New Hampshire, down to Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont. We're a licensed ambulance in Massachusetts, so we have to carry all the normal medical stuff that you're going to see in an ambulance. Because we provide advanced levels of care, we carry additional equipment such as blood, so we can start giving somebody who has major bleeding blood sooner. We also carry specialized critical care drugs so that we can help support them. The same stuff you would find in the emergency room or in the hospital, so we can bring the hospital to the patient while we're bringing the patient to the hospital. We serve Worcester County and then out from there. But there are other assets in the state. There are helicopters that we work with out in Western Mass from Lifestar, and there are helicopters in the Boston area that will come and help us if we're busy.
How many flights do you do average?
Some days we do 2 a shift, 3 a shift, 4 a shift. It's very seasonal, but we do, Patrick, how many? 700 a year?
Sure.
600 a year?
50 a month.
50 a month, so what's that, 600 a year. My goal is to fly none. So everybody stays healthy, wears a helmet, seat belts, makes good decisions, doesn't drink and drive. That would be a better day for me.
Again, welcome to the Spencer Fire Department's open house. Very happy to have you all here today. What we're going to demonstrate here is one of the many life-saving techniques that we perform for the town of Spencer. So we go mutual aid to East Brookfield, to Leicester, to Paxton, the surrounding towns. So we don't just rely on ourselves. We rely on our neighbors. They rely on us. It's a really great partnership. When somebody gets into a car accident, we don't have the luxury of building a house around them or building a workshop around them. So we have to take all of our tools on the road, right? You can see in our Engine 3 is our newest piece of equipment. We just put that in service about a year ago. Rescue 1 was a used piece of equipment that we bought. Having a heavy rescue like this and having additional tools on our engine is an incredible service to the town. We're able to provide a very high level of service, not only for fire protection, but also for extrication. So what we're going to show you today is when we roll up to the scene, how we actually build our life-saving procedure, right? We have to take these pieces of equipment off of the truck. Something that I'd like you to pay attention to is the difference in speed which the tools come off of the rescue versus these brand new tools come off of Engine 3. Both tools are hydraulic, okay? They're 10,000 pound technology. However, the tools on the rescue rely on a pump that's on board on the rescue. That's what provides that hydraulic power. The tools that are on board Engine 3 are battery operated, completely self-supporting. They're battery over hydraulic. So they're able to do the same amount of work, no cords, they deploy much more quickly. So as the team starts to work, you'll see how much quicker those go to town. As we start to work on a car, it's very important that we don't cause more injury to the patient than what they've already sustained in the car accident. So you'll see that we're covering things. We're talking to one another. There's no patient in the car by design right now. When we break the window, the patient would be covered. Safety glass is designed to not hurt you. However, it's still glass and it can still cause minor injuries, and we don't want to make things worse. So go ahead and start going to town, guys. The first thing that we do is we break the windows controlled, okay? Again, the glass is going to break. It's going to happen. We want to control that breaking glass. In order to start to gain access to the patient, what we'll do is we'll pull the doors off. You're going to see that now they're going to start to pull the doors. Before they do that, they're going to use these blocks, and they're going to stabilize the vehicle. Your car right now, when you get in, it'll sag a little bit. It moves around, right? We want to prevent that. We don't want any motion on that car that we didn't create. So he'll place the block underneath, pull the tire stem, and then the car will sag down and sit right on the blocking. The tool that Firefighter Barb is using is just a reciprocating type saw that you buy at Home Depot. There's nothing fancy about that. He's using it to take the windshield out right now. So you can see the tool that Firefighter Holmes is using. It's what we call a spreader tool. What he's doing right now is he's spreading the bottom of the door, the top of the door from the top of the window, and what it's doing is it's opening it up away so that he'll be able to get the tool down inside there. On the passenger side, they've already made what's called the purchase point. They're going to start to get the tool into the door, and they're going to start to pry that away. You can see on the passenger side, we already have the the passenger doors forward, the front door, we have that open. The next thing they're going to do is they're just going to make a couple of cuts. They're going to take the door right off the hinges, and now we have access to the patient in the front seat. What you don't see here today is when there's a patient in the car, we're coordinating with EMS. EMS has to get in. They have to stabilize the patient. They have to make sure that they're administering maybe pain meds, maybe some kind of a, if it was a cardiac event that caused it, there's meds that they can do for that. Everybody on the accident scene has a job. Okay, you can see that their job is to get the patient out. EMS's job is to stabilize that patient, get them ready for transport. No two car accidents are the same. You know, when a car goes head-on into a tree, when a car goes head-on into another car, the way that the car crumples back on the occupant is always different. You can see the folks, Captain Mathon on the driver's side and Captain Churchy on the passenger side. Their job is to stand back and look and see what the next plan is going to be. And then what they're doing is they're looking, if this doesn't work, what are we going to do next? It's very important that we don't just kind of let things happen. We have to always be looking for the next thing. If you haven't heard, one of the best things about LifeFlight is they maintain the golden hour. From the time a person experiences the trauma of a car accident, if we can get them to the hospital within an hour, their chances of survival go through the roof. So the combination of us working quickly coupled with LifeFlight, it's a huge advantage. It really gives us the ability to save lives on a day-to-day basis. So again, just to point out the difference between the hydraulic tools versus the electric tools, you can see that on the passenger side, they're already cutting the roof off. They're going to town. On the driver's side, they're still working to get the door off. It's just, again, very different technology. The time that we lose setting up with the hoses, there's additional pressures that have to build with the hoses. All of that are limitations of the tools. These battery tools are brand new technology. It's not, when we bought the hydraulic tools, those were the tools to have at the time. Technology is starting to catch up. Those tools now, 15 years-ish. When cars wreck, they leak fuel, right? So we also have to contend with the oil, the antifreeze, the fuel. We have to contend with that other stuff as well. So we have other jobs that have to be done. In a case like this, if a car accident happened way on the outskirts of town, while the extrication is going on, we would call for life flight, right? If it's an extended extrication, again, that's the value that they bring. However, we also have to establish a landing zone for them. I'm not sure if you folks were here earlier when Life Flight landed. We have firefighters standing by. These things are made to land in airports, right? If you go to Boston right now in Logan International, they have a whole team of people, a whole crew for firefighting. We set that up in the field, making sure that Life Flight can land safely. And you can see, again, passenger side with those electric tools, without contending with the hoses, it's a much faster operation. Fortunately, in 2022, we're not cutting people out of cars anywhere near as often as we were back in the late 90s and early 2000s. Car manufacturers have made incredible gains with creating crumple zones and ways to absorb the energy of an impact so that the car doesn't come in on the occupant. However, we're still seeing it. Again, we did an extrication about a week ago. There's still times where these tools are necessary. So even though if you look at straight call numbers, we're not doing it as often as we used to, it doesn't matter for the person that we're doing it for that day, right? We still have to be very, very skilled at what we do. So if any of you have a regular vehicle that you'd like turned into a convertible, we can certainly help out. Just bring it in. We'll take care of that this afternoon for you. No takers. So right now on the passenger side of the vehicle, what they're doing is they're making a relief cut. One of the more common things that happens in a car accident is the car comes forward, the dash rolls down on the occupant. So a very common thing that we have to do is we have to push the dash up off the occupant. That's one of the more common ways to be trapped in a vehicle. So they'll make a cut down at the bottom, and then we'll use a ram and we'll actually push the car up. And you'll see that we can create a good couple of feet of space to remove an entrapped occupant. And also, just so you're aware of what we really do in the field, very, very seldom do we take the whole top off like that. We have had to do it. We will have to do it again. However, more commonly what we'll do is we'll cut as far back as we have to, and then we can fold the roof back and create that same space. This is just kind of an opportunity for you to see the real power of these tools. Firefighter Barber on the passenger side, right now he's making that relief cut. We're going to take the ram and we're going to push the dash up. So what they're doing, Captain Mathon's giving instruction, taking the jaws and he's clamping them down on the rocker panel on the bottom. Now he's going to use that as a point to push against as he rolls the dash. It's pretty, you're going to get to see the force of the rams in a second here. Firefighter Holmes is going to place one end up against the tool, then he's going to place the other side up against the, what we call the A post, the most forward post. So as you can see, with using the ram, they were able to, we call it a displacement of the dash. They were able to push the dash up about 2 feet up off the patient. Now that gives us room to work all around it. So that's about it. We're around. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to ask us.